Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the simulation. I'm your host, Kevin Cutknife, a random artist on the internet. I wanted to talk to you guys today about cheating, betrayal, and relationships. If you're anything like me, then you probably went through life thinking that at some point you were going to meet a girl and she was going to change your life and you're going to get married and have kids and have this nice house. Why didn't that happen to most of us? I have a theory that it has to do with desire and its very nature. So, every relationship that I ever had boiled down to one significant one. And it's the girl that I thought I was going to marry. I didn't marry this girl because circumstances conspired to radically shift my opinion of her before the time came to marry her. So, if you've ever been cheated on, then you know what it feels like. It doesn't feel good, man. It doesn't feel good. Because there's a part of you that wants to blame yourself, like, oh, why wasn't I good enough? But you have to realize it's not about you being good enough. It's about them and their insecurities and their drives and desires. That has nothing to do with you. Don't blame yourself if you were cheated on. What you learn through the process of being alone for like 13 years is like in solitude of 13 years, I have known maybe one hug of a girl in that time. And I cling to that memory like it's a fucking life raft. Men don't want to hate women. We don't. We want to love you. You just make it really hard. A lot of the times men fail not because they want to, but because they must. Failure is probably the greatest teacher of you in life. I think because whenever we fail at things, it teaches us who we really are and what we're actually trying to accomplish with this thing inside this cage of a skull. The skull is a cage for the brain. And as a result, all of reality comes into question constantly. I think that's why we human beings like to think that we understand things, because it gives us the comforting illusion that we do. I don't understand why she cheated on me. I really don't. Because I don't think in the end that there was like a rational, sensible reason. I think it's actually that she was just enticed by the arousing idea of getting away with a secret. Not that she did, I caught her in the end. But she thought she was getting away with a secret for a moment, and I think that's what she liked. And when I realized that about her, I thought, wow, I should not marry this girl. I didn't. There's a reason why. Whenever you're cheated on in life, it kind of robs your desire to ever get to know somebody on that level again. Kind of tells you that like you don't want to get to know anybody that deeply because it gives them the power to hurt you savagely. And maybe that's the point, is that love is giving somebody the opportunity to hurt you savagely and then praying to whatever you believe in or don't that they won't. That's what I think. I think when you look at it that way, I don't blame her anymore because I realized that she was just making a choice. And you can't blame people for the choices that they make that hurt you because they literally don't know what they're doing. Jesus Christ said that on the final moment of the cross. At his hour of crucifixion, Jesus Christ said that, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. That remains true in my life, at least. Because I think that if she could have known what it would have cost both her and I later on down the line, I think she might have acted differently or at least told the truth. Not that I'm expecting anybody to ever tell me the truth about anything. I wouldn't tell you people the truth. I have truths that you people would not believe. um, and I don't share them because it's not necessary to. What's necessary to share about our lives in the end, outside of anecdotal retrievals of wisdom? That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to tell you that whenever somebody cheats on you, don't hold it against the value of yourself. It's not right. Try to view it as you made a mistake and you should forgive yourself. Don't turn your back on people. People deserve your help. They deserve your compassion and care, even if it's just randomly helping them out with change or a smoke or even food. I went to go to 7-Eleven tonight, and there was a guy outside who was like homeless, obviously homeless, and he asked me some food, and I just gave him one of my pieces of chicken because like, what am I gonna do? He obviously needs it more than I do. And what if that was the way the world was? What if we all just said, "You need help more than I do, and I'll be willing to help you"? I mean, what am I doing that's more important with my life than helping others? I don't know. Like, is sitting in a room all day attached to a computer screen or a phone, is that living? No. I'm not saying browsing Instagram or TikTok is evil. We all have down moments where we check Instagram. But if your whole day was scrolling, yeah, that's not living. That's a mimicry of living. So I've been basically looking at my betrayals as this motivation to treat people kinder, not to get worse, not to be a more miserable bastard about life. Try to be kind. Try to be compassionate. Even try to be jovial and funny. Because there's enough miserable, selfish, angry assholes in this world. You don't need to be an angry asshole to get your point across. Point of fact, it's probably better for your point if you're not an angry asshole trying to get a reasonable message across. I don't know. I think about how time breaks people down over the course of their lives. I've been broken down. I've been broken down by time. I know so many things at 34 that I didn't think I was going to know. And I don't know what to do with the information. I don't know what to do with what I know about life. All I know is that it makes me believe that I should be more compassionate and kind, because if we're all dealing with the same nightmare that I am, then yeah, you guys deserve compassion on that basis. Solely on that basis, you deserve my compassion. I'm not even lying. That's not even a joke. It's just an acknowledgement of the fact that everybody in this life has been given a raw deal, and that is that you are going to die, that one day you'll be forgotten, and that everything you'll ever have done will fade out of the world. This is the origin and fate of all life. You began from a single cell that conjoined into a conception of a soul that was then born, lived life, grew to this point to watch this video. And what can I leave you with in this final moment? I think I would tell you that you are good enough just the way you are. You don't need to break down yourself to change for anybody. You don't even have to try and achieve anything. We're all burning away. Every moment is like this. That's your life. And it's ending 1 millimeter at a time. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with the fact that you have a finite amount of time to make this life matter? And there's no guarantee of immortality of the soul. There's no guarantee of an afterlife. All we know is that death is inevitable, but living isn't. Death is inevitable, but living is a choice. That's what I would tell you. In the final moments where we go dark, Bravo 6, blow 'em away, boys. I'm not going to give up on women. I don't hate them. I want to love them. Even if that means not being in love with them. Because I think that it's one thing to own and possess somebody, it's an entirely different thing to set them free. And if you love somebody, you should set them free. That's why I didn't marry her in the end. It's because I loved her enough to set her free. That's what she wanted to be. So that's what I let her be. Maybe that's all that matters in the end, ladies and gentlemen. 11/11. Why not? Make a wish.